100K months are built on beliefs. I'm a leader, not just a coach. I'm a leader. There's a difference. There's a difference. I believe nowadays I do more leadership things. I'm more in the leadership decisions than actually like coach decisions, because I can coach with my eyes closed, my hands tied. Like, I can coach. It takes zero energy for me to coach. So now I've created the identity of I'm actually a leader who can lead a team, who can lead a movement. Also, when we think about 100K cash months, that's a lot of people. Like, also, people don't consider that. Like, you're leading at least 100, if not 300, not at least like 400 people, 500 people. That's how many people it's actually going to take to sustain $1 million business. So can you lead all of them? My launches will work. Launching. We'll talk about launching in a second. But you have to believe that your launches will work and you have a strategy. People want group coaching. It's so funny. The one-on-one people are like, people want groups. And then the group people like one-on-one. What if they buy all of it? And they buy what you sell. And they're compelled to join everything. I had a lot of this when I started my membership. I put out a survey and people were literally like, I don't buy memberships. Like, it was a fact. Like, it was right there in black and white. And I was like, but they're going to buy mine. They're going to buy mine. What can I put inside for them to buy mine? And then I can serve 100K a month worth of clients. We just talked about that. And my intellectual property and frameworks are unique. My IP, intellectual property, and frameworks are unique. And if you don't feel unique, you just need coaching around it. And it goes back to storytelling, which is what we talked about in the 10K months. Where are you getting super, super clear that your story is everywhere within your brand and in your curriculum? If you all look at my videos, I teach in my videos, obviously, but I storytell a lot in my curriculum. I'm giving examples of my own life, and people can't copy that. Right? People can't copy being a social worker, 100K of debt on a bus. Like, I don't even think they would want to. They're like, oh, she got me beat. Like, she got me beat. And I've gotten a few business coaches being like, your marketing is so good just because of your life. Like, I don't have any of that. And so, yes, it's thinking about putting your story also in your frameworks and your intellectual property. Feelings required, confident to sell and scale. Planned and strategic. A lot of money is lost because people are not planning. And I realized this the hard way a few years ago, where I'm like, oh, we could have done that. We could have had that out. We could have scaled this way, simply because we just didn't plan. Like, there was no quarterly meeting. There was no 6-month planning meeting. So you have to be planned. And then you're worth holding that level of income. Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to somebody at the VIP yesterday, and she's asked me, like, how has things changed the more money you've made? And I was like, honestly, I'm just more myself. I'm way more myself. I'm not a different person. I'm more me. If anything, when I was first starting out, I wasn't myself. I wasn't acting like myself. I wasn't showing up like myself. So the moment where you actually make more money, you're just revealing and unpacking layers to make you more you. Content strategy. I want to speak about this for a second, but speak to group level transformations. So again, a lot of you all will try to customize in groups. No, don't customize in a group. Say, hey, this is what all of us are going to be doing together. When I sell my mastermind, I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to have a 6-figure launch together. Everyone in here, that's where we're leading you. Again, you don't want to sell all these customized solutions because it's just about scalability. Also, a lot in groups is people like, I want more of you, and that's because you sold customization on the front end. If you don't sell customization on the front end, they won't ask you about you. They will ask about the process, right? And so making sure you're selling a process and a group level transformation, being like, here's everything we're doing here. So when I was looking for a membership mentor, the person was like, here, I'm going to help you have X amount of months or a low churn rate in the membership. Everybody in this community is going to be getting to that goal. I would have rather he sold me that than I'm going to help you customize your membership experience. I didn't want that. I wanted a group level transformation. And then you want to shift from a coach who helps people to a leader with a signature method. Right? Now, Amber, Quinn, and Natasha, who's my coaching team, my amazing coaching team, can y'all give it up for them? They're amazing. They're over there. They ain't even listen. They talking. But they literally coach on my method better than me. And they've been with me for years and years and years. I haven't had to hire anybody new in years and years and years. They know my process so well. I sometimes will show up on a call and they're like, hey, I was hoping for Amber. And I was like, well, I'm so sorry. You just got little old me here. Don't mean to disappoint, right? And so once you have a method, they can do it better than you. Your coaches can and they will put their own spin on it or put their lived experience in it and really help it come alive. And then build pre-launch creative hype and then mid-launch momentum. So creative hype, again, a lot of this goes back to the foundation of 10K months. You just want to be thinking about how can I get people's interest, even if I'm selling the same offer over and over again. Can I do new visuals? Can I do a new webinar? Can I try a different launch strategy? So for instance, every January I do Quit Your Racist Job. For the past 3 years, I did a webinar. But this year, I was like, I wonder if I could do something else. So I did a private podcast called Exit Plan, and it went over very well. We had a 10% conversion, which is huge. So every one person who opted into Exit Plan, every 10 people that opted into Exit Plan, one person bought, which is an insane conversion. I tried something new. I was like, let me spice it up. They're used to Quit Your Racist Job. They've seen that before. Let me get a little different. So where can you add pre-launch creative hype and then mid-launch momentum? You want to space out your assets and your launching one by one. So a lot of people will post a lot in the beginning. They'll do a webinar, post. They'll also reach out to past clients, and they'll do all this in the beginning, and then their energy slumps in the middle of the launch because they didn't build momentum. So how I kind of think, it's not the best example, but how I think about launching is ammo, right? So where can I add little things every single day in my launch, not give it all at once? So you want to build up the anticipation, and you want to build up the different ways that people can engage in the launch, not just give it all away at the first go. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yep, that's it. So yeah, that's how we are going to be focusing on consistent 10K months and consistent 100K months. Now, let's dive into sales trends for 2025, specific things that I'm seeing in 2025. And if y'all know me, I'm going to talk about this in a second, I feel like I stalk the industry. I'm looking at everything and everyone, not from this graspy place, but I want to study the industry that I belong in. Again, a lot of y'all are a part of this industry and y'all don't study it. Some of my friends are like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? This is going really well for people, and that's because I study the industry. I know what's happening in the place where I have my business. So 4 things I want to talk about right now. Buyers want an experience, not just information. And so obviously that's why I put events in my offers. And even if you don't do in-person events, where can you create micro events and micro experiences for your community? So can you do a weekly live video? I know Jerisha Hawk here is the queen of that, right? Can we do a weekly live video? Can we do an experience where they could talk to you consistently? Even if it's just all right, it's Fun Friday. Where can we all hang out in the DMs today? DM me a question. Where can you create an experience for your buyer? Your podcast is also an experience. Where can you also just think of the current things you're doing like an experience? And so it's yes, I could just slap up an episode because I have to, but instead, how could I create this a listening experience for my audience? Social media requires a world that they can enter before buying. And so I want you to think about, and again, we're going to talk a lot about this tomorrow when we talk about content, but I want you all to be thinking about how can I give them lots of different elements before they buy right on my Instagram feed? Where can I give them a carousel, a reel? Where can they look at my broadcast channel? Where can they look at me on Threads? And you don't have to do everything, but I just want you to think about if someone were to find me, what would be their experience? Where can they fall down a rabbit hole? Do I have rabbit holes for people to fall down? Or is it just oh, okay, they just have some static posts and no real conversations, or they're not really here? People want to sense that you're here. Creating an immersive environment that showcases your belief system. So what do you believe about your niche? And is that within your content, within your own lifestyle that you're communicating, right? And then people buy when they feel like they're a part of something bigger, when they're a part of something bigger. A bigger movement, a bigger mission, a community. That's what people are really connected to. Okay, so the 3 sales levers: leads, content, and sales events. So leads are ideal clients who are ready to buy. Your content is clear, consistent, and belief building. And then sales events are your sales calls or your webinars. Those are really it. I wanted to simplify, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow too. I wanted to simplify it this much. This is it. If you're not making the money you want to make, you have a leads issue, you have a content issue, or you have a conversion issue with your sales events. That's it. You don't have to be up at night at 2 a.m. being like, why aren't I making money? Here it is. You need the people, or you're not saying the right thing to the people, and then when you get them on the phone, you're not closing them. That's it. Offering a clear result. So I want to talk about results. A result is just an offer. A result is just a solution to somebody's problem. And are you offering solutions? Like if you were to look up your Instagram right now, are there solutions to your ideal client's problems? Or again, like I said this earlier today, is it just vibes? Right? Are you actually offering a solution? What will they have because of you that they don't have right now? What will they stop having because of you? And how are those things powerful? So a lot of you all will say, okay, you'll be debt free. But why is that powerful? Okay, you'll have a better relationship with food. Why is that powerful? For me, I have to literally tell people the benefits of quitting their job. Yeah, blows my mind too. Because people are like, why? I'm like, for so many reasons, and I have to outline it. If you've ever been in my Quit Your Racist Job webinar, I go like 10 slides selling them on why you actually want to do this, right? Goes back to your belief system. So create a T-chart, right? What will someone have and not have because of you? Again, don't just name it. You'll be debt-free. You'll be married. Why would somebody want to be married? Because you also have to think there's counter messaging to whatever you're selling. Right now, especially for me, there's so many career coaches being like, hunker down. Don't quit your job. There are so many people saying that right now. So I'm like, we going, right? Right? And I know that my ideal client, if I'm seeing it, they're seeing it too. So you actually have to tell why your result matters. That's something that's really important in 2025 because people are like, yeah, more sales, yeah, being full-time. But I have to say why it matters even now. Okay, top converting sales events, sales call. Y'all know I love me some sales calls. My favorite, some of y'all are like, yes. My favorite thing. And I also love webinars. If you can do a sales call, you can do a webinar. If you could do a sales call, you could do a webinar. They're both very, very similar. Sales calls, my signature process. Triage, where you triage the client, give a treatment plan, and then you tell the offer. Triage, treatment plan, tell the offer is from my social work days, as you can tell by the names. And so you want, I will say this 100 times over, make your sales calls 60 minutes, not 50, not 45, not 15, 60. You need every bit of those 60 minutes if you want to convert at 100%, which a lot of our clients convert at 100%. So you want to triage them for 30 minutes of the call where you're getting really, really clear on what are your problems and what do you want to do. You're then going to offer a treatment plan, which is a 3-step process on we're going to do thing number 1, we're going to do thing number 2, and then we're going to do number 3 together on our call. And then you're going to tell them the offer with the price. Do not email them the price afterwards. Right? You just wasted their time. When we do like these events and stuff, I'll take time out of my day. I'll get on the call with the floors or with the whoever or with the event team. And I will say, okay, all right, great, love what you have. And they're like, great, I'll email you. And I'm like, oh my God, right? I'm like, no, I'm right here. Just say it right here. Your client feels the same way. Don't hide behind the price. You also want their objections on the call. And you want to be able to figure out their questions on the call. Sales call trends. Don't sell clarity on the sales call. So a lot of you all in your treatment plan will be like, I'll help you get clear. And they're like, isn't that the point of this call? Right? I'll help you get clear. Don't sell clarity, offer a solution. So here's an example. I call this, y'all know I love Disney World. I call this the Daddy Disney World trick. And so I was working with a life coach, and she was like, I'm literally a life coach. Like, they don't know what they want to do with their life. And she said, I help particularly like a lot of men. For some reason, a lot of men come to my practice, and I had a single dad on, and he didn't know what type of dad he wanted to be. And I was like, why don't you say like, okay, do you want to be the Disney World dad? Do you want to be the soccer dad? Do you want to be the work and home life balance dad? Like, what type of dad do you want to be? And she was like, oh. I was like, yes. Offer a solution on the sales call. throw a bone and see how they respond. And they will very quickly be like, oh no, I don't want that. That's something that you can put in the treatment plan, right? And so you want to get clarity, even if you have to test the waters a little bit, you want to get clarity on the sales call. Don't sell clarity when they buy, because they're like, okay, I'm already unclear. I'm not going to buy a process to help me not get unclear. I want to have at least a little bit of a nudge right here without coaching them or going through your whole discovery process. Have more holistic solutions that impact multiple areas of their life, right? Not literally just their problem. So when I am communicating that I'm going to help someone grow their business, I will also throw in their family, right? I'll also throw in their money. I'll also throw in their health. Y'all know that I'm living with chronic illness. I'm going to have chronic issues for the rest of my life. And so that's really important to me to include health things within my work as well. And so you can ask all those things in the triage, being like, how will this help you holistically? And sell holistic success with your clients. And instead of offering lots of solutions, go big on the bowling ball solution. Again, y'all want to put 6 things in the treatment plan. It's 3. Or sometimes it could just be 2. Like, what is the bowling ball thing that they want solved? And then have the mindset that you can help any client. A lot of you all will be like, I don't know, can I help them on the sales call? And then you're shocked when you don't close them. You're like, Dielle, they didn't buy. I'm like, you didn't even want to work with them, right? And so every client, no matter all the things they say, I'm like, I can help them. I'm up for the challenge is my thought. Like, I'm up for the challenge, I'm up for the game, I'm up for the experience. And also too, when, I don't want to use the word crazy, but when I get someone different or interesting, I will say, oh, this is going to make me a better coach. I'm going to have all new teachings. I'm going to have all new frameworks because of them. A lot of the signature frameworks that have made me millions and millions of dollars have come from my toughest calls, my toughest clients that were like, all right, we're showing up again, right? Like, that is where your IP comes from. They don't come from the clients who are like, I just love you. You're amazing. I don't learn nothing from them, right? They just gas me up, right? I'm like, no, I want something with a challenge. So I always lean towards clients like that, not away. Lean towards them. Webinars. So webinar strategy in 2025, I've done over, oh my gosh, at least 30 or 40 live webinars at this point, and I've always had people buy. I've never had a webinar where someone hasn't bought from me. And I want you to be thinking about the webinar is a tool, not the entire launch. So what used to happen with webinars is they were the whole launch. Like, if people didn't buy during your webinar, you just weren't making sales. That's not what I've been seeing. Is people kind of know the shtick, if you will. People know about the webinars. They know about, okay, she's going to pitch her offer at the end. They also know that there's typically a replay, or you put it on your podcast. They know that they're going to see this content in some shape or fashion. And so webinars are not the whole event anymore. They're a tool. So treat it like that. Put it in the footer or the PS line of all of your emails. Send it to clients when they're interested in learning about your offer, even if the doors are closed of your group. Use it as a tool and an asset. Like, I've been focused on, like, how can I build assets, like my private podcasts, like the webinars that I have right now. How can I build these little tools that I can use in multiple different ways later on? Most buyers don't attend live, but they are buying in the replays, right? And the structure of the webinars is you have a mindset problem, mindset solution, 3 strategies, and then you tell the offer. That's it. It's super simple. I created this, my husband will tell you, I created this with no cards on the floor, like 2 days before my first ever live webinar. I wanted to create my own process. I didn't look at anybody else's. And I had a $50,000 day on that webinar, my first one I've ever done before with this strategy. And then with that, you then also want to do a live demo. So something I've been doing, especially to cold ad traffic, is I've been doing a live demo at the end of my webinar. So I'll tell them in the beginning, hey, if you stay on through the whole thing, I'm going to do some Instagram audits at the end. And that will keep engagement up. And then I will do those Instagram audits at the end, and those blow people's minds. And it's typically me saying, hey, there's no link in your bio. They're like, what? No wonder, right? Or I remember telling Mabel, she was on a live video where I was doing Instagram audits on a live video. I said, hey, Mabel, she helps sleevers. What do you do?
I help women who had weight loss surgery.
Yeah, she helps women who have weight loss surgery lose the weight. Thank you so much. And on her content, she never talked about weight loss. I said, hey, there's no weight loss mentioned. She was like, what? She was like, I'm joining right now. Right? So, yeah. And so, like, it does not have to be rocket science. You can point out one thing when you do these live demos on your webinars, and people will literally say, oh, like, I had no idea I was doing that. I want more. Like, this is the value of feedback. So it's not actually what you say, it's the fact that they got feedback for the first time in a while. So that's something that I've been doing on my webinars as well. Okay, widening your niche, another sales trend. So I want y'all to bear with me because y'all know I love niching down. But here's something that I've been witnessing, especially, and again, I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow, where I talk about content. So I've been going viral on TikTok, and that's been really fun. And it's because, yes, I know, very exciting. And it's because I've been really focused on widening my niche a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna teach you how to do it. So the way that social media is going in 2025 is very, very, very specific. Being very, very specific, it's not working as well, right? So again, the sales coach for women of color part-time coaches, it's worked great, but I had to tweak it just a little bit. And if you want more reach on social media, you need to widen your niche by just 20%. That's all I'm saying, just 20%. This subtle but important shift helps you get seen by more people while still maintaining enough specificity to attract the right clients. Here's how I want you to do it. So, and I'm gonna do an example right now. So I want you to look at your current super specific niche, so women of color, part-time coaches, and just widen one part of it. Again, there's typically lots of parts. I want you to widen just one part. So for me on TikTok, I go viral over money mindset work, right? So I still have the woman of color part. I dropped the coach part, but I kept the part-time part. Do you all see? So I had 3 elements. I just like widen up one of those. So again, it's not like I'm just saying women. I'm just widening up a little bit more so that people can actually find my content easier. And so you want to keep it subtle but important. And then you want it to match what people need. So that's the main way I go viral on TikTok, is to talk about money mindset work. And people will comment all the time, where's your course? I don't sell on there. I wanted to get the membership up and running first. But people are like, where's your course? Where's this? So it's still converting. Like, it's still working, but I'm reaching more people because what I'm saying applies to a lot more people. But then the people who it does qualify for, they're finding me and wanting to convert. So you just want to widen your niche by 20%. That's something that I've been seeing in 2025. Okay, here's the overview again. So we talked about adding solutions in your marketing. We talked about sales calls, webinars, widening your niche, the 3 sales levels, and all of that.